So my name is Richard Mair. I'm a consultant neurosurgeon in Cambridge and also a clinician scientist based at CRUK Cambridge Institute. So as a neurosurgeon, my primary interest is in brain cancer. I'm specifically interested in two types of brain cancer. One is called glioblastoma, which is the most common brain cancer that we see, tending to present in older people. And then also something called IDH mutant glioma, which we used to call low-grade glioma, which tends to occur in younger patients. So Icarus was our biorepository that I started about 6 years ago now. The idea behind it was often when experiments were set up, there seemed to be a large lag or gap before we could obtain the samples that we needed to test the hypothesis that we'd set out. So what I wanted to do was to build a biobank that was robust enough to answer any questions that we could think to ask across brain cancer and brain diseases more generally. We've now got nearly 20,000 samples collected from nearly 1,000 patients over the past 6 years, which I think is a fantastic achievement for the whole team and really feeds into a lot of the clinical programs that we currently have built, such as the Precision Brain Tumour Programme and the 5G clinical trial. The Precision Brain Tumour Programme itself was just performing whole genome sequencing, but detecting how feasible it was to do that and also identifying the utility of that. So what was the point in doing this difficult and complex technique for our patients? And we feel that that is going to be in planning treatments to try and improve prognosis across brain cancer, which is notoriously a difficult disease to treat. So essentially, every patient's cancer has changes in the genes that drive the growth of the tumour itself, cause proliferation in the cells. So in order to identify the changes in these genes, there's a multitude of different techniques that have been used over the years. One of the most high fidelity or closest looks at those genes that have gone wrong, the mutations as we call them, is through something called whole genome sequencing. What we do with whole genome sequencing is we look across the whole genome, as it says, and we look at a base by base or a letter by letter perspective to identify within each gene what's gone wrong. And that helps us not only to diagnose patients, but also to plan treatments through things like precision therapies, where we can match the specific mutation to specific drugs, hopefully to improve prognosis in its cancer. So I think in the UK, we have a fantastic opportunity with the new UK Brain Cancer Consortium to think in a much more unified way about how we can develop treatments and deliver them across the UK to brain cancer patients. I think there are a multitude of new therapeutic options in brain, and traditionally that's been quite difficult because pharmaceutical companies and government have found brain cancer quite a difficult cancer to approach. And I think what we're seeing, because of our joined up efforts as a brain cancer community, that these institutions are enabling new treatments to be trialled and brain to be thought of as something that's a problem that's ripe for solving. So I'm really excited about the opportunities and the potential we have to improve the lives of these patients over the coming few years. So when I started in Cambridge back in 2012, there were very few opportunities to explore and investigate brain cancer. What I've seen over the past 10 to 15 years is an explosion of interest, but in Cambridge, through programs like the Brain Cancer Virtual Institute, or BCVI, that used to be the Neuro-Oncology program. What we've been able to do is link up researchers that perhaps work in siloed, disparate fields towards brain cancer and a unified objective of improving prognosis. I think the other thing that we can do with the BCVI is identify a cancer for scientists who are perhaps more agnostic in their outlook and say, look, why don't you come and apply your cool technology or your cool data analysis technique to this cancer of unmet need, and a community that would be very grateful for you to do that. And by doing that, we build an even bigger community all focused on the same goals.